It's too far away, that, isn't it? Can't see bleeding anything. Apart from this horrible close-up. Let's move this over this way. Let's break it now. Or just leave it like that, because I'm guaranteed to break it. What I thought was, if I go on here, I'll be able to like see the questions, if any, that I get. Will I be able to do that? See what happens. It's lagging behind. Anyhow, just in case I get some messages, because I've got no chance of seeing what's actually occurring on screen because my eyes are knackered. And as you know, well, you maybe don't know, but I don't booze anymore, so this is my drink for a Saturday night. Just haven't drank any alcohol now for about, you know what, it's got to be 5 months. Definitely. Let me just get a swig. So anyway, I thought I'd come on just to, sorry, I keep getting distracted by that. Well done on the booze. Oh, thanks, Nicholas. I'm just getting used to this. Well done on the booze. Yeah, you know what? It's really good. I stopped drinking because I've mentioned this before, but I stopped drinking because I was getting fed up of waking up feeling like shite the next morning. Even if I'm only like, well, I wouldn't just have a few glasses, let's face it. If we're having a glass, I'd have a bottle. Wine. Easy. And it's miraculous, actually, because I decided that I was just going to give up. And I really wanted to give up, so therefore I did. Well, like when I stopped smoking, because I used to smoke. I smoked for 30 a day, probably more than that. And then when I was 25, I just stopped. So anyway, I want to show you this. Let me just move out the way. See this chair? Well, the chair, let me just get the camera back so you can actually see it. So that's the chair, and it's got like these legs, and it's got a puffet at the side there. And the chair, so let me just get here. The chair, I paid 30 quid for it, for the buffet and the seat from Salvation Army in Barnsley. And what I'm going to be doing over the next probably week or so is I'm going to redo it all. Now, my initial thought was that I was going to do the whole thing and put new material on it, and then I decided that I wouldn't do that. What I'm going to do, just pull these off. I'm basically going to paint these arms pink with a wood stain. I've done some on the couch. I'll show you in a minute how it's turned out. Might sound like I'm nuts, probably am. But I think this colour will go probably more of like an orangey colour. I don't know. And then the cushions, which are absolutely foul, I'm gonna do them cushions. I'm gonna make some new cushion covers. I've actually done one. So I got this material, a big massive roll of it. I'll show you in a second, from the charity, and I basically made a cushion cover. Look how close the stitching is. I'm gone trying to do it. It's a professional job, that. It's a professional job on the machine, but it's messy on the inside, everyone. Let me show you the new machine that I've got. So this is my new sewing machine. I paid 25 quid for this. There was two. There was a Jones, which obviously is me, I'm Sarah Jones, and then there was this one, which is a seamstress. And it's an industrial one, this. It's got all stuff in here. Look, I'll show you. And it was 25 dabs. I don't know how old it is. It's obviously quite a bit old. I don't know how it works, but I used to be a machinist in the 90s in Manchester, so fairly confident that I can do what I need to do. Just sort this camera out, everyone. That I'll have to do. So yeah, I'm gonna paint it pink. Oh, let me show you the pink, and then I'll sit down then. I'll put this big light on so you can really see it. Right, so this is the test area I did on couch, and it's basically just pink wood stain. If you go close, so it just gives it like a pink tinge. So I'm going to paint the whole of my sofa. It's too late now because I've already started. I did it on purpose so I couldn't go back. I'm going to paint the whole of my sofa pink. So I know what colour that's going to go, but I'm thinking this yellow one is going to go a slightly different colour, but we'll just see how we end up. Worst case scenario. Oh, thanks, Scotty, love. Worst case scenario, I'll just redo all of this bit as well in some material if I have to. So, what's been going on? I did make my ironing board. The reason why I've not posted the video of me actually doing it is one, I need to edit it and there's quite a lot of material there and I don't know if I've recorded everything. And two, the frame, in fact I'll show you, the frame that I've made is not very sturdy. But the board is, let me get it. God, I can't sit down, can I? I'll show it you. Everything's pretty much in the same material. Like, I've got so much of it, and I've got some more as well, but it's pretty fine. It's from 1999, the other one. So this is like I've did this myself. I sort of joined it together. And it's got like these top bits here. So I just did a bit of joinery on it. I don't think I've done a bad job. I've managed to scissor it together. The problem that we've got is that when it's up, it just collapses. There's nothing. Wow, what's wrong with your face? I look like I've had a stroke or something. Yeah, it won't stand up straight. So, but I've got one upstairs that my keyboard's on, so I'll probably use that. But this is the board that I made. So this was like a full-on board, like, and what I did is I cut all this out here, just drew it with a pencil and cut it out. And it's actually quite big. And then on the other side, that's where I've wrapped the material around, and then I just attached those bits. Oh, and I didn't mention underneath. You know, like when you get an ironing board and like underneath you've got like a cushiony bit. Well, I just chopped up my old zebra print coat because I weren't going to wear it this winter, and that's underneath. So it's got like a bit of cushioning, but the problem is I can't use that. But then I worked out today I've got my keyboard holder, so I'm going to do some ironing on it up this week at some point. Just move this out of the way. So I did do the video. I'm a bit disappointed that my legs haven't turned out absolutely the way that I wanted them to, but you know what? To like do what I've done with absolutely no joinery skills, I don't think it's too bad. What else was I going to say? So that's that. I said I was doing another video as well, didn't I? Oh, Teddy's gone back to Sarah's now. So I had Teddy for like, I think it was about 2 weeks. But he's gone back now. She came and picked him up today and took him back to Oldham. So he's back down there. Do I want a dog? Probably not. Thanks, Scotty, love. I don't know if I want a dog. I enjoyed having Teddy, but I don't know if I'd want a dog full term. The reason why I liked him is because he was fairly easygoing and chilled out. Cool mask, remind me of wrestler. Shall I put it on? I put this on for that. I don't know if you've seen it, but I did a video where I scared Adrian and Michael. Watch it. Actually, actually quite an horrible face. And then when you put it with my hair like that, it's actually quite freaky. It's not, it's quite scary, but you know what I'm going to do? If you didn't see that video, if you did see that video where I go on Frightened Adrian, you need to go and have a look because it's funny. But what I'm going to do this Halloween, and I'll do a video on it, I'm going to create like a witch's body. And I've got like a black hair extension thing upstairs, which I bought years ago and I've never used because, as you can see, I don't really need hair extensions. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this into like a witch, and then I'm going to put it close. You can see how actually horrible it is. Isn't it horrible? Sarah came today and she looked at it and she said it's absolutely horrible. You know what it reminds me of? You know The Exorcist, the film? Have you seen those bits where that Damien's mum is walking down the steps and like in the house this face flashes up? Well, it's like that. Izuzu or whatever they call it. So thanks, Scotty love. I don't know if there's anyone else on this bloody live. It might just be us two, Scotty. It looks like there's more people on, but no one's saying out, so I don't know. So yeah, I'm going to make it, and then, sorry, I'm just not finishing the story. I'm going to make it, and then I'm going to sit it outside on the chair, and I'll probably do it a few days before Halloween and a few days afterwards, and just let it watch people as they come up the hill. It should freak some people out. So that's what's going to happen with that. Tomorrow I'm going to go do a video. Did I do the chat? I did the chat one. Could have. I'm going to go to a famous Yorkshire village tomorrow. Well, this is my idea. Are you up for the Did it scare you? It's horrible, isn't it? So yeah, I'm going to go to a village in Yorkshire tomorrow. It's up near Leeds. If you're a certain age, you'll have seen this village many times. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. I also want a witch's face, a witch's mask. I might get this witch mask that I've seen as well. I think it's on Amazon actually. I can't look at it now because I'm using my phone to do this live. But yeah, what was I saying? I'm not with it tonight, everyone, to be honest. I'm a bit knackered. I mentioned I was off for Perth last week for some wine, had a great time. We stayed at a 5-minute walk to town. It was steep path outside house, but I managed low. We stayed at a 5-minute walk to town. Oh, did you stay over then? And did you stay like, because really Old Firth is just that road, isn't it, going through? And then you've got all them beautiful houses which are like set back, aren't they, above the church? What's that church called? Is it St Mary's? I did a video. I went to Old Firth with Lou's life. So you stayed up there then? That's nice. That when me and Lou went, I think it was last summer, not this summer, last summer. God, time flies, doesn't it? And I remember I had a white dress on, and I'd put a pair of white knickers on, and I'd put a white bra on, and I'd put a white underskirt on, and I'm sure you can still see right through the dress. At certain points, not on my video though. So I'm selling that dress now. Just near the Co-op big car park, right? Yeah, I know where you mean. It's nice, Old Firth, but like I live in Barnsley now. I don't know if you've seen my house. But my mum said she went with Simon to Old Firth last week, and she said, "Oh, it's gorgeous there, isn't it, sir? It's really nice." And I went, "Yeah, it is. I just don't know if I'd want to live there." Like years ago, I wanted to live there, you know, like because I lived in Oldham, and going to Oldham were like, wow, this is nice, and it is nice. Sorry, I burped them. It is nice, but I can imagine it'd be a bit of a nightmare living there for a couple of reasons. One, it's full of tourists, very, very good for the local economy, obviously. And I'm a tourist there. I go there, but like if you live in them houses up that hill, and if you've been there, like you have, Scotty, like I think there's a couple of car parks there, but like come winter, I think you're snowed in because you've got all them cobbles. How are you going to get out? Oh yeah, the oyster. Was that trip, or was that same trip? I think it were. I think it was the same trip. Yes, look the deer. Everything's fantastic. Um, I've had a few people recently um, commenting on some of my Oldham videos. What's he called? The guy. He's got the same surname as my uncle. Whoa, I can't remember what it's called. He's in the comments anyway. He's been putting a load of information. He's been telling me about Bloddick years ago, how fabulous it was, and like, well, it still is. I still think Bloddick is, but we're talking about when the mills were there, and there was a load of mills, and people walked down the street in clogs. I don't think they did in that fella's time, but it talks about like the old businesses that were there, and and the interesting thing is I've managed to find some old pictures of like Waterloo Street and various different side streets in Gloddick that shows it in like the it must be like early 1900s. Like all the women are running around in shawls and stuff. That's how old it is. So my great grandmother used to wear a shawl in the 1920s in Oldham. So it could be around about that time as well. She was still running around in clogs and a shawl in the 1920s in Oldham. That's how they used to dress the women. Anyway, the point is, I think we've got another Gloddick video coming because I really want to tell that story, and I want to, like, some of the things that that fella's told me, some of the interesting facts, I want to tell you about them. And also, I've found out some more information about various buildings that have been built around there that I've just been waiting to tell you, really. Ted Cornish, hi Ted. Gorgeous. Hi, gorgeous. Hope you're well. Yes, I am. Thanks. I'm all right. I'm on the water tonight, Ted. No wine, no alcohol for me. I'm about 5 months in now, and I'm feeling fabulous. I'm not even wanting a drink. I just love it. Are you won't don't? I'm all right, love it. Yeah. I was just saying I was saying a lot of things because you know me, I just never stay on one subject, do I? I just keep flitting from one to the other. I'm always thinking of something. But yeah, I'm all right. I was talking about what I want to do this weekend, where I'm going to go. There's a village that I want to go and visit. Everybody watching this will know this village, and if you probably already got it, Yorkshire Village, you worked it out. If you've worked it out, put it in the chat. But anyway, I'm going to go there tomorrow because I want to have a look at it. And I also want to go to the churchyard. I don't think we've got any graves in there though. Step up to Compos and Nora felt a bit step up to Compo and Nora. Steps up to Compo and Nora felt a bit steeper than last time I was there, and it's so overgrown with bushes. What is the statues up there? I didn't know. It makes sense that there would be, I suppose. I didn't. Oh, right, is that like some? Tell me what it is. I don't know. I know Compo and Nora are, of course. I'll tell you where she is. That Kathy Staff. She died about 20 years ago, maybe some more than that. But she lived in Ashton under Liner, just round the corner from one side. Not been to Oldham for a while. No, we're just talking about it, and well, you're probably on one, Donk. I don't know if you were, but I'm just saying I don't think I'd want to live there. I'm happy in my little house in Barnsley, mate. But oh, the way she used to chase it. Yeah. It is it was funny. But yeah, Kathy Staff, she used to live around there. I'll tell you, who used to live around the corner from my mum as well in Ashton. That Jack Duckworth, what was he called? Bill Tarmy. Batting with a brush. Yeah, she was always leathering him, weren't she? Makes me wonder, would they get away with that nowadays? Probably not. Hi Sarah, good evening. How's the renovating going? I remember you showing us the stairs or something like that. Yeah, have you not seen it since I've done it? I'll show you. Let's go for a trip round the house. I want to show you the wardrobe, the makeshift wardrobe that I've made today as well. I can't turn light on upstairs, but this is what I've done. So I decorated everything, and then I laid the carpet, put this on. This is just flooring this that I've whacked onto the risers, and then literally just sort of, I'll put light on when I get to the top. I've just put all these mirrors here. Let me just put light on. Oh, it won't even turn on. Fragging out. Let's try this one. There we go. Put bathroom light on as well. So I don't know if you can see it, but that's all the mirrors. That mirror there, that one is a, oh God, what's it called? That, and that, they are very famous mirrors. All the manufacturers are very famous, although they make planes nowadays. They stopped making mirrors in the war. The bedroom's a mess. I've got to put my bedding back on. And I'm doing some so they're all on the bed, look. I need to put them all away. But I'm just sorting through what I'm selling and what I'm throwing. But yeah, this is the bedroom. So it's this all the way around. Yeah, it's very old fashioned. That's what I was going for. I wanted granny theme. And then we'll go into the back room. The back room is an absolute shambles, everyone. It's not tidy at all. Everything is absolutely everywhere. And this is what I've done today. Basically, put that wire up, put those on, and then behind here, I'm going to put, this is only temporary. I'm not leaving it like this. I'm going to put some doors on. But this is all the clothes that I've got listed on Vinted. So I'm selling all of these, but not really many people buy them. I'm not selling them too expensive either. They're relatively cheap, but yeah. And this bed, I'm going to decorate all this room. It's just, everything's just flung everywhere at the moment. But I'm going to decorate all of this, and I'm going to make a duvet set for the bed. It should be. All right, let's get back down to stairs. If you're still there, everybody. Oh. So, is that? There we go. Is that? That's as close as it's going to get. Right, let's see what comments we've got, because I couldn't really see them ones. Looks very nice. Scotty, yeah, what Batty was a legend. Put with yeah, Wally Batty. Mark Jenkins, are you aware of the concern about poltergeist? Hang on, are you aware of or concerns about poltergeist? What do you mean aware of? I thought it was something with door then. I'm not concerned about poltergeist because I don't think there is one in here. Are you telling me there's one in the house? And if you told me that there was, I'd probably believe you because things happen at night. Nice mirrors, yeah. I bought all of the mirrors from charity shop. The one that I was showing you that's just over the stairs, you know, the underneath as you go down. I'm trying to remember what it's called. And for basically I paid a £5 for it. It's probably worth in the region of about 180 quid if I wanted to sell it straight away. I didn't realise it was one of their mirrors until I got it home. So what happened was I saw it. I said, how much is it? And they said, what it was. I won't say how much I paid for it because it'll sound like I'm taking pay. But they gave me a price and I just loved it. I just thought, wow, it's beautiful, it's dead ornate. I said, I'll have it. And not to sell because obviously I want it in my home. And it was only when I got it out of the car that I happened to look at the back and I was like, oh my God, I've actually got one of these mirrors, which I bought from an antiques place. And the one that I got, the second one that I've just shown you, is in much better condition than that one. Let's go back up because I've got more comments. Everyone's commenting now. Thanks everyone. It gives me something to talk about rather than trying to fill the void. Not that I need help filling the void because I can just talk shite, can I? So very old fashioned, very nice. It is. I said it upstairs and I won't know it's old fashioned. You know what it is, right? I could have gone for a more modern look, but that's not really me. Like even in my old house in Oldham, it was a bit quirky. Like it was all black and white throughout, black carpet, white walls, and like each room was like grey, white, and black, and it was beautiful. Or I thought it was, but another person said it was like a bit Chinese, you know, like a Chinese style. I wasn't going for Chinese. But yeah, anyway, with this house, because it's a cottage, I just really wanted it to be like when you come in, you know, you're in like a, you know, an old cottage. And I'm hoping when I've done this sofa, just for anyone who went on before, this chair that I'm sat on is not staying like this. It's being dyed pink, or as pink as I can get it. And these cushions, I'm making new ones. Anyway, let's have a look at these comments. Born in the wrong century, sir, are you? Actually, you know what? I was, because if I was born in the 1800s and I was a certain age, I probably would have gone after Eli Lee's 100%, because, yeah, he's like my dream fella, I think. Someone who looks like him. He's been dead he died in 1892. So he's been dead a good 140 years now, on it, something like that. Let's have a look. I like old stuff too. Yeah, I love it. Have you seen my grandfather there? Can you see it in the corner? Oh, look what I did. Look. I was moving it to the day. Have you noticed? Glass. Smash the bleeding glass. So, what I did, I picked it up and I had it against me and it broke either against my bust or my belly. Probably my belly because it's huge. And it just, like, you know, bust the glass. So I just ended up throwing it away. But it's alright. It's not even, actually, it's not even working, is it? I think it should work now, everyone. Right, I'm going to sit down for a bit now. I've got ants in my pants. It's nice that UK Gold and Drama still show Last of the Summer Wine when it was the 90s. Fucking reminds me of my old teachers. Bossy, did it? I don't really. I used to watch Last of the Summer Wine when I was a kid, and then I got to the point where I hated it. Like, really didn't like it. And I didn't like Compo, the character. He just got on my nerves. I don't know what it was about him. Not the fella. There's nothing wrong with him. Nothing wrong with character, but for some reason as a kid I just started disliking it. So I don't know why. But I always liked Nora Batty, and she used to remind me of someone. I can't think who it was now. Lancashire Mudlark saw a cracking church today for you to visit in Burnley today. St James Church, Briarcliff. There's a couple of churches that I want to go to. So there's one over in Burnley. There's also one over at Pendle Hill. Is it in Burnley? I'll have to ask. I can't ring her because I'm using my phone to do this live because my other camera has just had it. The Canon's just finished. Basically, we're going to go to some graveyards soon. There's one that I want to visit, and I think it's over Pendle Way or Burnley Way, and there's a witch buried in the cemetery. And you can see that it's her grave because there's a big massive stake that goes right through and no one dare remove it, and it goes right through her body, and they speared her because they were frightened that she was going to rise again. I think it's over Burnley Way. My mum told me about it and to be honest, Jesus, I've tried to find information about it online and why is my clock not working? Sorry everyone, it's bugging me now. Let me just sort this out. Might need winding up. Or I might have broke it when I was moving it. I don't know if that's working now. Oh. What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Burnley Way, yeah. So we're going to go over Burnley Way. I also want to go to a church in Cheetham Hill. So this one was actually done by an Oldham YouTuber called Razor. So I don't know if you've seen him, but he goes into he gets into a lot of buildings. He's been in Grand Theatre in Oldham. He goes all over and does loads and loads and loads of videos. I believe he lives in Oldham. But he also went to this church in Cheetham Hill, and I can't tell you what it's called because I can't remember. But it's an old church. It's derelict. It's been locked up years ago, but it's got a crypt, and you can actually get into the crypt underneath. I think they do tours down there, but he managed to get in when there were no tours. I don't know how he managed to get in, but I think he said that the door had been left open, and then when he went back, it had been locked. Because obviously they must have remembered and locked it. I don't know. But if I can't get in the crypt, I at least want to go. There's a graveyard which is all overgrown, and you know what'll happen? They'll end up knocking the church down. They'll either landscape it and leave the bodies underneath, but probably not. They'll probably take the bodies out, similar to what they did at St Peter's in Oldham, and then reinter them somewhere else, or probably not reinter. Maybe they'll just incinerate them and then put them in a mass grave. I don't know. I'm just assuming there, everybody. I'm not saying that that's what they're going to do. My point is, the church is shut, the cemetery is overgrown. You know, the graves are very, very old. So I want to go and I want to research them. I think I broke the clock. Maybe it's come loose. I don't know. I'll have to look at it. Won't work anywhere. I moved it earlier on today, and now it won't work. There'll be something up with it. I'll fix it. What else was I going to say? So yeah, I want to go there. Where else did I want to go? Let me have a look at some of these questions because they're coming through. Tayyib, Sarah, how much are you going to sell those old clothes of yours you just showed us? I've got them for sale for different amounts. I don't sell them very expensive, like $3.99, $4.99. I sell decent stuff. I don't sell crap. I'll be honest, one of the dresses I've listed today, I'm like, it's not great. It's not bad. It's not bad that you won't sell it, but I've priced it accordingly. It's cheap as chips. The most expensive one, I've just seen Eli Lee's name. I'm going to have a look at that in a second. Or I've seen Eli, I just noticed it. The most expensive one I've listed is a blue one. That's a Lavish Alice, that one, I think. Scotty, any haunted stuff going in-house? I remember you mentioned. The last thing that happened in the house, actually no, there's a couple of things that have gone off. So the last really sort of poignant thing that happened was at the top of the stairs where we've just been. Have I left that light on upstairs? Oh, I have. I'm going to have to go and turn the light off. Just 1 second, everyone. I can't leave it on. I've got a OCD about it. Yeah, what happened? This was when Bobby was still alive, and it were probably about a year and a half after I'd lived here. And middle at night, because Bobby didn't sleep in my bedroom. He'd come in, and then he'd jump down. He'd come downstairs, and I'd go to sleep. It was his routine. But I was asleep, and all of a sudden I heard like actually, just like thud and clap at the same time. It was weird, and I thought, shit, what was that? You know, you wake up and your heart's beating because like your adrenaline kicks in to wake you up. And I had a look. I opened door, and funnily enough, 2 pictures that had fallen over are now on my bedroom wall. It's the Lady of Shalott and the woman with the furries. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. They were just wedged against the wall. Not even at the square bit at the top, they was away from that, and then they were just face flat at the bottom, at the top of the stairs. Bobby were downstairs, and he was a cat. He couldn't have moved them anywhere. They were, that with the wall, they were like that. Do you know what I mean? So, from to go like that and then fall onto the stair. But then the other night, I'm going to have a look at these messages in a minute, everybody. The other night, I don't think I told anyone. It was Teddy's first night here, and basically, I can see all these messages. It was Teddy's first night. I just turned lights off, curtains were shut, bedroom was really, really dark, and all of a sudden he just went. Now the bedroom door was shut, the window was shut, he couldn't hear anything. Well, I don't think he could hear anything. So I put the light on dead quick. And he just looked at me like that, but then he started staring at the door. The door wasn't shut, it was like half open, and I thought, oh my God, has he seen like, you know, a ghost or a duffy at the door? And then he just sort of like laid down and just went to sleep. So I never got to the bottom of that, but my neighbours have said he probably like heard, you know, one of my neighbours going upstairs or something, which is probably more than likely. Right, let me have a look at these. Eli was funny him, and his glasses said "Morning, ladies" to the lads. Bloody hell! And his coffee meetings made me laugh. We got Pearl moaning about Howard seeing Marina, and Eddie talks posh, and if have a chat with Glenda or Mother. Lancashire Mudlarks, nice. Looking forward to the vids. Yeah, I just need to get to do them. You know, it's same old with me. The problem with me is I sort of have every good intention, but then I give myself so much to do. Like today, right? Today, I got up at 6:30 this morning, washed off my fake tan, washed my hair, put my makeup on. I was ready for about 8 o'clock. Sat have a couple of coffees with Teddy and whatever. Took him out for a pee, and then 9:30 I set off. Went to charity shops, come back. Rearranged this front room because it wasn't this configuration this morning. I've changed it all again. And then what else did I do then? And then I went upstairs and I did that, knocked out all the wood and put that thing on and made that wardrobe thing, and then put the wire up. It weren't just the wire, I did all thing inside. It's just a knock-up job for the time being. What else did I do? Oh, what I was supposed to be doing today, I was supposed to be starting on this churn and making these cushions, but other things just got in the way of that. So let's have a look here now. Sarah, when are you, so this is Muqthadia. Sarah, when are you going to Westwood and Coldhurst? Love to see you there. So I've actually done Westwood. I did Westwood probably about 6 months ago. And I featured where Westwood House used to be. So Westwood House used to be on the perimeter of Middleton Road and the corner of, I'm trying to think what that street's called. You know, if you're coming down Middleton, so you know if you're coming down from West Street and you keep on going, you go under the bypass. And then you've got that steep hill that comes down, which is front bypass, and then you've got the tram station on the left, haven't you? On the right, there's an old pub there, which was an hotel. The street that goes up the side there It's, or that corner is where Westwood House used to be. And they built terraced houses there now. It's there or thereabouts anywhere. They built terraced houses on there now. But Westwood House used to have very influential people that lived there. They were absolutely loaded. And I'll tell you something else as well. In Oldham, the people, years ago, the people that used to live in the houses, you know, like John Clegg, who lived in Bent. Bent was up at top of Westwood, and then there was, I can't remember, you know, for life of me, I can't remember the family that lived in. In fact, I think it was the Oldham MP, and his name has gone from my mind. Oh, what was he called? I'll remember and just shout it out in a minute. But my point is, these areas, they used to be called after the, on the maps, they used to be called after the people who were the lords of the manor at that time. So yeah, very interesting. In terms of Coldhurst, I went to do Coldhurst, but there's not really much there. Like, some of it is like, you've got those horrible modern things that they built in the 1960s or 70s, those horrible, they're not nice flats, I don't think. And my friend had one in the 90s, and I don't remember it being very nice. And what I mean by that is it was quite boxy, you know, it wasn't plush like the houses. They've got some beautiful houses around there. Some really, really nice terraced houses, and you've got those churches around there as well, haven't you? Okay. Oh, I've gone too far, everyone. Scotty, I remember Wesley in his shed and he shouts, "Posh Wesley, are you there? Wesley Pedgen, get yourself in here, put papers down." Bloody hell. It's taking just a minute. What donk? Oh, Sarah, did you like them pictures on St Fergus Cemetery I sent you? When did you send me them? I don't think I've seen them. Or when did you send them? Have I just forgot? Or I wouldn't mind having a look. Maybe it's gone into my spam. Did I reply? I can't look now, unfortunately, because I'm using my bleeding phone. Otherwise, well, actually, I could go on my email. I'll have a look on my email in a minute. If I might need to log in. Oh, I don't know. I'll have a look in a minute. Nice colour of the clock. Yeah, it is. But I think I've broke it. I don't understand why it's not working. Something not right. I've done something. Do you go to any car boot sales? Yes, I love car. I love anywhere where I can buy second-hand stuff and buy crap that other people don't want, and then I put it in my house. And yeah, that's what I do. But there isn't any car boots. I'm gonna have to have a swig of water. I don't know what it is. I'm absolutely parched. Really thirsty. I wonder if I've had a lot of salt or something. Probably should put it in a glass, should I? But I'm from Oldham, everyone, so you know we're just real over there. Good evening, Stevie Boy Billings. Good evening, Sarah with a green heart. I think that's because he lives in Ireland or is Irish. Right, Anna, Stevie. Tayyip Hussein, Sarah, would you spend a night alone in Highgate Cemetery? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. I'd spend a night in any cemetery. In fact, I'd absolutely love to spend a night in a cemetery. The only thing that stops me from doing it is the rats, because they tend to be crawling with rats, and also the nutters that might come in and probably, sorry, I weren't telling anyone to F off my fingers then. I didn't mean that, I'm sorry. The people who could potentially want to slit my throat while I'm asleep. But other than that, yeah, I'd you know, I always said, and maybe one day I'll do it. Sorry, it's that water. I want to live in a cemetery. You know those houses that you get? I want one of them. It's funny actually, because before I bought this house, there was an house in Slowett. So if you don't know where Slowett is, it's also pronounced Slaithwaite, but the Yorkshire people pronounce it Slowett. And it's in between Oldham and Huddersfield. You probably already all know where it is, so I'm sorry if I'm telling you how to suck eggs. But yeah, Slough, there's a house there, and I went to see it. And I remember when I spoke to the person at the estate agent, they were like, "Oh, just to let you know though, it is, there is a cemetery at the side of it. I want you to know that before you go." And I was like, "That's absolutely fantastic." I mean, I was envisaging with this house moving in, I'm not even seen it yet. I'm thinking, yeah, I'll live there, because I'd look on Google Earth and all that, Google Maps. And I thought, in the summer, I can go out, I can go into the churchyard, I can chill out in there, research the people at my leisure, and have some discoveries. It wasn't massive, and it was disused, and there weren't very anyone in there anymore. It was just overgrown. Anyway, what happened with that? I went to view it, drove all the way to Slough, and I waited for a estate agent, and they never turned up. So I rang them up, and they went, "Oh, we took a bid on it. We rang you this morning." I went, "No, you didn't." I absolutely blasted the fella down the phone. I thought, cheeky get, having someone come all that way. Anyway, I've got this one now, and this is a better house. Can't believe we only get 2 weeks left. We've only got 2 weeks left of August. I know, Scotty, it's crazy, isn't it? It's my birthday in October. I'll be 48 years old. So, like, I'm nearly 50. I don't know what I'm supposed to feel like, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know. Taib, Scotty, on a serious note, I'm not looking forward to winter. I don't mind winter, me, Taib. I don't mind it at all. Yeah, I quite like winter. Well, I say that, but then when you're in, when you've got to put your heating on, you're freezing, and you can't get out your house, and you're snowed in and stuff like that. It's not ideal, is it? Same. I don't like heat waves. No, I don't like heat waves, Scotty. I bloody hate them. I don't like heat really, and I don't mind warm, but I don't like blazing hot. I want to go to Egypt. In fact, there's a couple of places I want to go. I want to go to India. And I want to go to Egypt. My aunties are going to Egypt in October. I might piggyback on the back of that holiday and go out for a week. I'm thinking about it. I rang my auntie to ask her the other night if I could go, if there was any space or whatever, and give me an idea of what cost, but she didn't answer the phone. So I'll sort it out near at time. But it's boiling there. That's what I was going to say. It's absolutely roasting, isn't it? So I don't know if I like it for that reason. Oh, hang on, I'm missing some messages here. Sorry, everyone. Julie Fitzpatrick. Hi, just noticed your cushion. A nice picture of Bobby would be a comfort. They do them at photo places. I have 2 of my cats. Really? Well, on this one, I've just got a rabbit. Where did I get? I don't know where I got this one from. I think it were Tesco. Or something like that. But I liked the rabbit. I had it on my rocking chair that you can see it corner here. I had it on there. I don't know what I'm going to do with this rocking chair. I can't have it. It's just I've got no room for it, so I need to offload it. Tried to give it out Sarah today, and she won't take it, even though she had van, and I know she's got room in her house. She won't take it. But I'll have a look into that, Julie, because that'd be nice. Maybe I can get a T-shirt with his name, with his face, his face on. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Scotty, apparently we're getting a heat wave from California. Hopefully we miss it. California? Is that right? I thought we was on the Gulf Stream. Is that how it works? I thought we got our weather from the other end. I don't know. I don't know anything about weather, but yeah. Look the dear Ali, would you spend a night alone inside of a crypt? Yes, I would. I don't fear the dead. I get scared for ghosts because you don't know, do you? You don't know. I don't know. I think if I saw a ghost in the house, I think it'd frighten me because I would be expecting it and it'd be like, what the hell do I do? But then at the same time, I'd be glad to see a ghost because then I'd know that there was something else. In terms of crypts and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I don't fear the dead. Me, I don't want to live in a graveyard myself. But in terms of visiting graveyards and crypts, I find them fascinating. I find them quite relaxing. I don't mean from like a macabre point of view or anything like that. I'm not like a a strange individual who likes being among the dead. It's nothing to do with that. When I'm in a crypt or if I'm in a graveyard, it's the history for me and what these people were is what gets me interested. Right, let's have a look at these. I don't remember. Westwood House must have been, yeah, they knocked it down 150 years ago. Or as long as those terraced houses have been up, which I bet those terrace on Westwood have probably been up about 120 years, maybe more, 120, 150, who knows? But yeah, where the house was is where all the terraced houses are now. Seagulls are loud. Are sort of loud at court. Well, yes, they are. Walked on. I sent them on Facebook. You replied. I'll have to have a look. I'll have another look. Why can't I remember it? How long ago? Am I losing my mind? I didn't read you. What do you mean I didn't read your message? Did you read your message? Sorry, there's no message there. Do you mean on my phone? If you mean on my phone, I can't because what's where I'm at now? If you mean on my phone, I can't because thing. But I noticed you put something further down, so I'll have a look. Mark Jenkins, push the pendulum in the clock to the right gently and then let go. It will work. Right. Pendulum. Let's try that then, Mark. See what happens. I did that already and it just stopped. What's it doing? Can you see what it's doing? See, it stopped. I think it might have come dislodged. What's for dinner tonight, the dear? Well, I've already had it because after our Sarah left, I were quite hungry, so I had my tea really early. It was like 5 o'clock. I had mixed salad, like a spinach, and then this thing that tastes peppery. I can't remember what it's called. So I had that rocket, spinach and rocket. I had olive oil and vinegar for the dressing, roasted garlic, which I chopped up and threw in, some tomatoes from the tomato plants outside, which were absolutely gorgeous. Chopped them up, cherry tomatoes, put them in. I did so that was like a bed of salad. And then I had a corn on the cob and some salmon fillet. That's what I had for my tea. And it was bleeding gorgeous. I can smell food. I don't know why. Like a bacon butty or something. I don't know what's up. There's been a few strange smells in this house today. So I reckon, would you just piss around on it and drive me bonkers? Oh, Ruby would just piss around on it and drive me bonkers, Sarah. No, I know. The rocking chair, I know what you mean, says. Yeah, she would. She'd be on it all day, wouldn't she? Guaranteed. I said Egbert's missing you. How do you know? How do you know he's missing me? Why is that clock not working? Both, Sarah. Look at the dear, both. Wonk Dog, I can only imagine what your gravestone will look like. I'm sure it will be grand, like the ones in Chadderton Cemetery. Now, that is a very, very good comment. So I've given this some thought. So first of all, I do want to be buried. I don't want to think about dying just yet because I'm not ready to die just yet. But obviously, it comes to us all. And when it does, I don't want to be cremated. So Sarah, if you're about after me, don't let them cremate me. Bury me in Cheddarton Cemetery. That's where I want to be buried, in Cheddarton Cemetery. And I'm thinking, because you know I'm a bit eccentric anyway, I'm thinking I might, you know, like when everyone leaves a will, well, I've got no children. So I don't know who I'll leave anything to. However, there's a couple of people in the family I will be leaving stuff to, which I'm not going to go into because I've not even thought about doing it yet, but I will do it at some point. But anyway, the reason why I mentioned all of that, a good chunk of what I've got left is going to basically pay for a monument that's basically going to go above my grave. So I probably need to be somewhere where I can get like prior consent. I know that Cheddarton Cemetery are a bit funny now about having big monuments, but I do know that if you go to Catholic cemeteries, I'm not Catholic, maybe I need to become a Catholic, which will also mean that I won't be able to go into Cheddarton Cemetery. But I know that Catholics can have big, massive graves. Saying that, you know, did you ever see that one that I did? And he was a Catholic, but did you ever see that grave that I did on that bare knuckle boxer in Sheffield? He's got a big, it cost him like $250,000. I read his grave, and it's all marble, Italian marble, and it's got a jukebox. Oh, thirsty. Mark Jenkins, I love the witch on the wall. You know that witch? I bought that off eBay. I think I paid something like $6.99 for it. It's just a metal. I think it's a garden ornament, to be completely honest. But I had it at the top of my house, on top of the stairs in my old Oldham house. I used to have like a load of because I'm into like, I don't really follow a specific religion. I was brought up Church of England, but I'm reliably informed that I've got Jewish ancestry on both sides. But I don't know anything about the Jewish faith, but apparently because it gets passed down the women's side, so on my father's side as well, because it gets passed down the women's side, that means you're a Jewess, you just automatically are a Jew, but I don't know. So anyway, excuse me. So there's that. Why did I mention that? Oh yeah, because I like religious symbols, you know, like I've got nuns, which I broke the other day, I'm gutted about that. I had a load of religious symbols at the top of the stairs. This one, because this is, witchcraft is a religion as well. And I like mythology, I like stuff like that. I don't have dragons on my wall or anything crazy like that. Not that having dragons on your wall is crazy, but you know what I mean. It'd be too much for me. People think I'm odd as it is. Lenny Janoff, do you watch vampire movies? I recently watched Vampire 79 with Rutger Hauer and found it most intriguing. I've never seen that film, but I imagine it's quite scary with him because he looks a bit vampirish anyway, doesn't he? Just in normal life, he's got a bit of a strange face. What was he in? Oh, it was that one with Harrison Ford where he's got a strange look to him. What's it called? That they did a remake of it recently. I can't think what it's called. Sarah Atkin, I mean, he's missing the peace and quiet. Okay, I'll sort it out for you. Better get saving, Sarah. What were you sorting for me, Sarah? Am I losing the plot? What are you sorting out for me? What are you sorting out for me? What did I say? Better get saving. Yeah, what I'm thinking, sis, is going on that Egypt trip with your mum. No, well, not with your mum, but like your mum and Norma are going out then. So I'm thinking I might just go on that for a week. Why don't you come with me? We'll just go for a week. Wonk donk, nice. Oh. All right, with Tommy French. I love your accent. What's your accent like? Timothy French, sorry. All right, with Timothy French. I love your accent. What's your accent, Timothy? And then one dog, she's a proper Oldham lass. Oh, my gravestone. No, Sarah, I don't need to save because it's in this house. Got money in this house, haven't I? So, my house will be my gravestone. I'm living in my gravestone, ultimately. Not all of it. Let's have a look. I've got no more messages, everyone. They've all run out. Is that the end of today's live then? I must admit, I'm actually quite tired, but I've enjoyed tonight. And before I come on, I was thinking, oh, do I really want to? Because, you know, I felt tired, not stopped, and then. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've not stopped, and then I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to. Do you use the ham chair sometimes? Do you use the armchair sometimes? What's a ham chair? Am I being thick, Mark Jenkins? Do you use a ham chair? So do you mean armchair? I don't know what you mean. I'm assuming that's something to do with the clock, is it? I don't bloody know. Ted lays on his back. No, he does. I'll tell you something though. Now Teddy's gone home, I'll probably sleep somewhat all the way through tonight. I always need to pee about 2 o'clock in the morning. But like when Ted was here, I'd wake up at like, go to bed at like 10, wake up at 11, then I'd wake up at 12, then at like 3 o'clock, and then 5 o'clock, you know, so like quite a few times in the night. And I think it was because he was getting up and pacing about, because he does that, doesn't he? But no, he was lovely. He's a lovely little dog. He's really funny. And our Sarah, anyone watching has seen, I did a live with Teddy. We walked down to, most days we went down to Worsborough Mill. But if we didn't go to Worsborough Mill, then we went somewhere else, and he'd go running and stuff. You know, took him out. But our Sarah told me today he's not even 2-year-old yet. And if you see him, he's just like an old man. You know, he's just so set in his ways, and he's so clever. You know, he was an absolute joy to have. Like, I'd sit here and I'd go, do you want to go walk, his Teddy? And he'd look at me like that, and then I'd go, come on then. And he'd go to the door, and I'd open the door, and he'd go out, and he wouldn't run, he'd just go and do his business. And then I'd go, come on, Ted, let's go in. And he'd follow me, like, behind my legs all the way, and then just come in. He was such, he is, I mean, he was up here, but he's such a good boy. And I'm going to be having him again soon, Anna says. Sarah, are you tea or coffee person? I like both. When I get up in the morning, it's the funny thing about tea, an interesting fact about me, and I don't know what it is. Sarah, this happened when I used to live with you up in Shoulder when I was about 18, and I moved into your house in Top Shoulder for a bit, back in 90s. But I can remember our Sarah used to, what was it called, says, where you used to live? Can't remember the name of the houses. Weren't Angelico, because that were bottom shoulder, weren't it? Anyway, it don't matter. So she had one of these houses on Top Shoulder, I saw her, and I moved in with her. And I remember I made myself a cup of tea in the morning, and I drank it, and I can remember being outside. And all of a sudden, I spewed up. And I remember I had the tea, we didn't have any sugar in the house, because we were both skin. We were skin, where it was us. As you were at that age. And yeah, I realised then that I get sick of tea, but I can drink tea, no problem, as long as I have sugar in it or sweetener. If it's not got any sweetener or sugar, for some reason it upsets my stomach. It's really strange, but the sweetness stops it. I don't know why that is. I think it's the tannin in the tea. I don't know what the sweetness cancels out. But in terms of coffee, I have about 4 coffees in the morning before I do anything. But I have like little cups, and I'll have like in the cup, which is literally that big, and you look on my face, it's no bigger than between my chin and my thing. And it's quite narrow, the cup. And what I'll do is I'll have 2 spoonfuls of coffee in there with some milk and then a little bit of water, so they're really, really strong, really strong. And I started drinking my coffee like that when I was married to that Albanian that I was married to for many years, because that's how he started making it for me, and I realised it was so much better than one heap of coffee and then loads of water, and you know, and it's like tea. So yeah. Right, let's have a look. Mark, the rocking chair next to you, sorry. Well, yes and no, Mark. When I bought it because I wanted a rocking chair in a cottage, because I thought, yeah, I've got a cottage now, I'll have a rocking chair. And then I started sitting it, but because I'm so fat, it digs into the side of my thighs. That said, I am dieting, and the other day I went and sat in it, and now I can sit in it comfortably, so I'm going the right way. So I'll probably start sitting in it more. If I, well, ask her what have it. Can't give it to my mum, she won't have it. And my mum's got loads of room in that house. I said, put it in the window at the top in the attic. She's got an attic room. You go to my mum's house, she's got a front room, then a big massive kitchen, then the stairs go up to the bathroom and her bedroom, which is massive, and then you go up the stairs again and you go into an attic room. Well, I always say to my mum, in that attic room, you should have a chair at that window, because you can see out all over Barnsley, all the town hall, over Mount Bretton, everywhere. It's fabulous. But also, if she had the rocking chair up there, she could reenact that scene out of Black Christmas. So you've seen the film Black Christmas, and you've seen the scene where the girl's in the chair upstairs and she's got that bag over her head. If you've seen the film, and if you have, let me know in the comments. I think my mum should do that. He's 2 in December, is Teddy. But he's like an old man. And I noticed Sarah the other day, you know, because he's got like them big chunky paws because of all his fur. Well, I moved the, it was sat aside, I moved the fur back, and he's got these 4 claws that are sticking out. Like, he's got a foot like a poodle underneath all that fur. It's cute. In America, my accent would be considered Southern American. I like Southerners. Cowboys. I like what's it called? Yellowstone. Really like that. I like Beth. She's my favourite. What was she in it? She was in something else. Or was she just in that? She's fabulous in it, that actress. I think she's English here, actually, who plays Beth. I'm sure she is. And I've got a friend called Kimberly who lives over in she lives in the south. What the hell? Where does she live? She keeps moving. I know that she's got a lot of guns. She likes to shoot, as most Southerners do. And she lives with a boyfriend, and they've got like a swamp at the back. And I know they make a lot of moonshine. Georgia is where she lives, because I actually was going to go. Well, I'll tell you what happened. A few years ago, I worked for an American company for a very short amount of time. And they wanted to send me, I had to go to Texas. And I went to Texas, flew from London out to Texas, and I don't know what happened to me on the flight. It was American Airlines that I went on. The plane was amazing. Well, it was a double decker. They're all amazing, aren't they? Got to Fort Worth Airport, and I had all these grand ideas. I was staying at the Hilton in Fort Worth, and the training was going on in Fort Worth. And I mean, I had all the big ideas. I was like, oh, it's going to be great. We'll do the training in the day, and in the evening I'll get a taxi into town, and I'll go to, book depository. And if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about JFK now, because he was assassinated in Fort Worth, Texas. And I wanted to go and look at, not because of in a glorifying way because of what happened to him, because I think actually what happened to him was horrific. It was terrible. But because when I was a kid, I used to watch a load of programs on it, and I watched this series, which basically broke everything down, the grassy knoll, and all these people that were involved, and anyway, we all know the story. So I was going to do all of that, and I was really, really, absolutely delighted. And by the time I landed it in Texas, I was sick. All my throat was burning, and I thought it was just because of the air conditioning on the plane. So anyway, I had no ride at the airport at all. No one had come to pick me up, and I was like, "What the hell do I do?" I've just landed in America. I've never been to America before. I sailed from Southampton to New York on a maiden voyage in 2009. Norwegian Epic. So, and I'd spent some time in Michigan. So I'd been to America before, but I'd not been to the South, and I was really excited because I've always wanted to go to the South of America and Texas, Anyway, so I'm waffling. So what happened? Yeah, I was really poorly. Got to the Hilton, and American hotels, or the one, certainly that one I was in, you couldn't open the window, and it was just air conditioning, and I just got poorly, and I had to go into this training, and it was just horrendous. And if you've ever done American training, anybody, wow, it's really, really intense, really intense. It was American sales training, don't get me wrong, it was fantastic, and I came away from there a much better salesperson, but it was relentless. And I'll give you an example of the timetable of the day. You got to training in the morning at 8 o'clock, right? The training was in the hotel, so you didn't need to go anywhere. So you got up, did whatever, went downstairs, went to the training room, started at 8 o'clock, right? You would start this intense American sales training, right? And you would do it from 8 o'clock until about 10:30, solid, right? These various different things, all this theory, and then the loads of practice, and then at the training went like that. At 10:15, he went, right, I think we'll or half 10. I think we'll stop for a break. We called Chip. Yeah, I think we'll stop for a break now. And I'm thinking, oh, nice one. I'm gonna get at least like half an hour chill out or something. He went, let's get back here in 5 minutes. I was like, oh my god. So then we came back, and then probably about 1 o'clock, it was like, right, let's stop for dinner. Guess how long we got for dinner? 20 minutes. And then we're back at it, and then 3 o'clock, I think we got another 5, and then we finished at something like 6 o'clock at night. Let me tell you, those Americans, and and you are right with Timmy from French. Honestly, I don't know if you're the same, but my God, work ethic is off the scale. I thought I was a grafter. My God, honestly. Anyway, I went off on a tangent there. Anytime you want service, what our Sarah said about Teddy, Muck the deer, always such a good boy. He is a good boy. Muck the deer is a really, really good boy. Gaskell Rise, Sarah, yes. That's it. Wonk Dog 38. Are you planning on ever getting another cat? I don't know. I tried to, right, you don't know about this. I tried to have a cat a few months ago. I'm going to tell you what happened. So, I've had Bobby. I got Bobby when he was 6 years old. Right, I got Bobby in 2008. And he was 6 years old. Yeah, it was not long after. Maybe it was 2009 I got Bobby. 2008, 2009. It was around about that time, because I think it was 2009 actually, because it was just after I'd moved into Linton Avenue in Oldham. And when Bobby, I got him from Oldham Cats. He was an old cat by 6 years. He was getting on. He obviously lived till a ripe old age. But anyway, long story short, I brought Bobby home from Cat's Home. I put him down on the floor, and he just basically just chilled out and just got on the couch, and it was just like he'd lived there forever. And Bobby was not a problem, even when he was like, really sick. Bobby was just like quite chilled out, and anyway. So we all know what happened. I had to have him And then I had a number of weeks where I was just, I was thinking, oh, you don't know what you're doing at that time. It's just a terrible time. I feel very clear about it now, but at the time. So basically, what I did is I heard about this cat, and he was a stray. He was a beautiful cat, and I basically got him from this woman who prepared him, and I paid her for him, and I brought him home. I think it was 40 quid, which was just for like his vet bills to get him ready. And I brought him home and I let him out exactly the same way that I did with Bobby. I just assumed that he'd be fine. I let him out into the house and he just flew straight up the stairs, and I was like, okay, left him to it. He wouldn't eat, he wouldn't go on the tray or anything. So what I did is I was like, right. Anyway, at one point I managed to get hold of him because I was worried that he wouldn't go to the toilet, and it'd been hours, and I thought, I don't really care if he doesn't go to the toilet. Like, I'm not forcing him to go to the toilet, but I need him to know where his tray is, so he knows where he can go. That was my concern. And I took his food and his water up. Anyway, long story short, the cat basically went into the bathroom before I'd finished it. And it was while I was doing the bathroom renovation, and there was a hole in the floor. And for some strange reason, it decided to go under the floorboards in the bathroom, right, and just disappeared. I was thinking, where's this cat gone? And it gone right under the floorboards, and I thought, oh god, I can't have this. And it stayed under there for about 2 days, I think, and then eventually it come out. I thought, I'll have to rip the carpet up. Anyway, I just thought, I can't. And it wouldn't. The thing is, it wouldn't eat. It didn't go to the toilet for 2 to 3 days. Like, it wouldn't go to the toilet. It wouldn't eat anything. It wouldn't drink. It was in distress in the house, and I was like, what the hell am I going to do? Anyway, I ended up saying to this woman, this is happening, and she was a bit funny about it, to be honest. I didn't like how she spoke to me. And I remember I said to her at the time, I said, look, if you don't want the cat back, it's fine. I can deal with it. But anyway, I think she was just a bit disappointed, but so was I, because I'd tried my best, and I'm being made to feel like I'd not tried my best. But I was worried about the cat because the cat was crawling under floorboards and it wouldn't eat. Anyway, so the point is, the cat had to go back. And just to sort of box the story off, the cat has a new home with a friend of mine, and the cat's delighted and happy. It just didn't like being here with me. And that experience has sort of put me off getting another cat, because even though I had such a good experience with Bobby, I think I expected to be able to replace Bobby in some way. Or get something similar. I'm going to have to blow that candle. It's making me cough. That's what I'm coughing for. It's too much, that. So, will I get another cat? Probably not, to be perfectly honest. Will I get a dog? I don't know. I was talking to our Sarah about it today, and there might be a possibility of me getting a dog in the future, but we'll have to just wait and see. Or a bird. The deer said, or a bird. Just looking at our Sarah's comment, sorry. I wouldn't mind a bird. I like birds, and I wouldn't mind a bird that can talk. But, well, I suppose I could have one now, actually, because I've got no cat. See, I wouldn't want a bird in a cage all the time, because I think it's cruel. So if I had a bird, I'd want something like a minor bird or a parrot. Probably not a minor bird, actually, because I'd like a crow. A crow would be nice, like one that can't live outside for whatever reason. I'd love a crow. And they can talk. Magpies can talk. Most birds have got the ability to talk. Budgies can talk. But I wouldn't have a bird in a cage, because I think it's cruel. Which would mean that I'd have to have it out in the house. And the problem with that is my mother would never ever visit the house because she's frightened to death of birds. So then it'd have to go in a thing. And then the other thing is as well, I don't think I like them flying around my head and stuff like that. So probably not a bird. I don't know. Susan can't have that in the window. It would be like psycho. Yeah, no, Sarah, but well, she's gonna have it, or I don't know what I'm gonna. I mean, I could give it to charity. I might end up doing that. Yeah, I can't have it in my bedroom because there's just no room for it. I would have it in my bedroom, but I can't put it in front of my wardrobe because I'd be constantly moving it. It'd drive me mad. I've already done that with it. And then in that back room, I don't think there's any room for it there either. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. He was a great cat. He was. Bobby Shafto was brilliant. Our Sarah calls him Bobby Shafto. Sarah, get a fish. What, like Puffer? Remember Puffer, Sarah? I'm referring to this fish that I had as a kid. Everyone, it was a dog-faced puffer fish. You know, them big marine ones that blow up into a ball. And he was called Puffer because I don't know why he was called Puffer. I think because my mum, whenever she's not doing it now, but like when I was a kid, we used to have a cat and it was called Pussy. I'm not going to say it because it's considered a thing, but that was the cat's name, you know, and it was called that because my mum couldn't think of a name to call the cat. That's what I think. She'll probably blast me for that now, but I don't know why she would have called it. Like the cat she's got now, she's got one called Charlie, one called Rita. I named her Rita because at one point I was thinking of having her when Bobby was alive, and then I didn't. My mum decided to keep her. She was the kitten of one of the other cats, and anyway, she's called Rita. There's Dolly, Womble, and why can't I remember the other one? Can't remember the other one. I can't remember what the other one's called. There's another girl. Yeah, Muck the Deer says he thinks it's cruel too. I agree. Sarah, you can't have a bird flapping around for God's sake. No, that's what I was saying, Sarah, because it might go in my ear. But I couldn't have one and keep it in a cage. It'd have to go in that corner there where Darren was sat today on a perch, and it'd just have to sit there looking at me and then speak. I don't know what it'd do. And then probably occasionally it'd fly to that table over there or sit on telly. And then the problem that you've got with that is where it goes to the toilet, then it'd be bobbing all over the house. Sarah's laughing her head off. One dog, I'd have a crow or even a raven. Very intelligent birds. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want a raven because they're massive, aren't they? But definitely 100% a crow. I'd like a crow. But I like crows, you know, like if you notice when I do like my cemetery videos, I really want to do a cemetery video tomorrow, you know. Should we do a cemetery video? Should we see where we can go now? Let's have a look. South Yorkshire. The problem is cemeteries. The problem is I've been to all of them. South Yorkshire cemeteries. So we've got you know where I might go tomorrow actually, because I've been informed now that it's open, Sheffield General. And I actually went to it. I think I've got Sheffield Cemetery at mine. In fact, yeah, I'm going to go. That's where I'm going tomorrow. I'm not going to that village. I'm going to go to Sheffield Cemetery. So there will be a cemeteries video tomorrow night. Sheffield Cemetery, right? Listen, it's the general cemetery. They've got massive monuments in there. In terms of history, it's probably the Channington Cemetery of South Yorkshire, I would imagine, because the people that are buried in there, they're all the, you know, the steel manufacturers, you know. Did they do glass in Sheffield? Yeah, all sorts. Anyway, we're going to go to Sheffield General tomorrow at some point, open now. And we're going to go and have a look at all the big massive monuments, and we're going to get a cemeteries video in, and it'll probably only get 300 views, something like that, but I don't care. I'm going to go and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to research it all for you, and then you can watch it. It should really dig up some pretty decent It's making me cough. I had that Yankee Candle on. And I think it's that soya wax in it. Is it not good for you, that? I don't know. It's making me cough anyway. Hang on, let me just have a swig. Cemetery walks with your crow, that I'd have to say. Well, this is what I was going to say about the crows in the cemetery. You go to Chanet Cemetery, that's full of seagulls on top of. So you've got two things in Chanet Cemetery. You've got all the seagulls that perch on top of the graves, halfway up. As you go in through the gate, don't turn left where all the big monuments are. Keep on going. Halfway down on the left, you'll see loads of seagulls, and then further down at the end near the Islamic Centre, the Islamic section, and the corner, that's where all the crows tend to hang out. So I go down there and I film them quite frequently because I quite like them. Sarah, get a minor bird. Grandma and Grandad had one. Sarah, do you remember that minor bird? I don't remember that minor bird. Was it before our time? My mum's told me about that. She said it was vile. Apparently it used to look, but apparently many people used to have, and it used to talk that. I think it's the humidity. I'm not so sure. You know, I think it was that candle because I've had it burning for like since before our Sarah arrived at 3. And I could, when I was coughing, then I could smell it, and I don't cough anymore. And that's the other thing as well. Do you remember when I used to always be coughing all the time? And everyone used to say, "Oh, get to doctors." Well, I'd been to doctors, and the doctor had said, "There's nothing wrong with you. You've got it was rhinitis that I was diagnosed with, but that can be brought on by cats." And since Bobby's gone, I've not got any of those problems. So let's have a look. No, I don't remember, but Mum told me about it. Tayyip Hussein has got a question for me. Sarah, what's the most embarrassing situation you've been in? Sarah, you probably know what the most embarrassing situation I've been in because I tell you about them all. Sarah's my cousin, by the way, everyone. She's watching. Sarah, most embarrassing situation. There's been many out the stairs. Was it when I fell down that hill on shoulder that day and we'd been Oldham Market and we bought those matching me and Sarah went and bought these matching clothes because we always used to wear the same clothes, leg coats, all sorts. We always, even though we were twins, there was only 9 months between us and we were brought up together. And we always used to wear the same clothes, probably up until like 13 or something. In fact, then we still had the same haircuts and stuff. So do you remember when I cut all my hair off because you had that short haircut? I cut all my hair off. Most embarrassing, sorry, I got off the subject, i.e. most embarrassing situation. I don't know, there's been that many. It's a really good question, that. The problem is, I don't really get embarrassed. I'm not an embarrassed type of person. Like, I can't think of any. There's things I regret, but like I don't feel embarrassment. It's weird, and I don't know why I don't feel embarrassment, but I just don't. Come on then, Sarah. What have I been in? What plenty? She had a top that I did. Right, no, that would be the most embarrassing one then, right? So listen to this, Tayyip. When I was about 13, I lived on Whitstable Close in Chatterton, and this particular time I walked up, I was, my cousin Joanne had this haircut done, which was trendy at the time, and it was basically an old woman's haircut. It was cut short at the back with a perm on top, and hers looked really nice, and I wanted that haircut. So I screamed, I moaned at my mum for ages and ages, and my hair was probably up here and was it perm, Sarah? Was it just long? Can't remember. Was the perm afterwards the other perm? I think it was. Anyway, it don't really matter, but my hair was up here, so I had it all cut off like a man's haircut, and then on the top they put in, it was the hairdressers on Cambridge Street in Wernerth. Is it Wernerth? Yeah, Wernerth. Is it Wernerth? Yeah, just at the back of Oxford Street. Oh, yeah, Wernerth. It's Wernerth. Anyway, yeah, it is Wernerth. So anyways, it used to be an hairdresser on Cambridge Street. So I went there and she put in these yellow rollers, which are what they put pensioners in when pensioners used to have perms. And when I came out, it was wet through. They'd not even bothered to dye it. And I was walking down the street thinking I was looking min. And my mum and the sister Bernie were behind, absolutely laughing their heads off because I had this haircut. They thought it was very, very funny. And I think I felt a tinge of embarrassment then. But honestly, maybe I didn't, because I just thought I looked mint with this haircut, where in actual fact I look like a pensioner. Bit late, where's Teddy? Douglas, Teddy's got home. As Sarah's watching tonight, she picked Teddy up. Sorry, it's her dog, and she picked Teddy up. She got back off holiday yesterday, and then I said I'd take him home tomorrow, but they were free, so they just came and got him. So yeah, he's at home. Sarah's laughing her head off. Sarah, you're laughing because you remember it. That's what it is. What about Sarah? Do you remember what was that hairdressers that you went to in Oldham? Was it Silvio's? And they cut all your hair off that day, and then I went and did exactly the same haircut straight afterwards because I had to have the same haircut. Do you remember that short haircut? Do you remember it? And they cut it really, really short. Was it Silvio's? I've got it in my head. It's Silvio's. What's Salve? What's Salve, Gladstone? Sarah, you can borrow him. Thanks. Well, I'm gonna have him again, aren't I, in October? So, have you met any celebrities? Yes, I have. Who have I met? Manny out the Stone Roses, met him. Went round to his house one day with my cousin and her boyfriend who was friends with him. That was many years ago. We'd been to London doing a video because my cousin's boyfriend, he's like a member of our family anyway. He was in a band. I think they disformed now, called Pure Essence, Fails with Band. And we'd been to London to do this video for this song that they had out called This Feeling. And on the way back, we'd gone. I won't mention this. I won't say who he is. It's one of the four, obviously. But on the way back, they said, "Oh, we're just going to call in." And my mate just said they were calling in. I didn't even tell me where they were going. And I remember I don't know whereabouts the house is. Got an idea, but I don't think he lives there anymore anyway. But we went to this house, and this fella opened the door, and I just looked at him and I thought, he looks like Manny out the Stone Roses, and it was. And he invited us in, sat down, and he said, "Do you want a brew loaf?" And I went, "Yeah." And he went and made me a cup of coffee. And I remember it was in a Manchester United cup. That's all I remember. And I don't remember anything else about the visit. But you're a nice bloke. So yeah, who else? Do we know anyone else famous? Maxi Priest. I didn't really meet Maxi Priest. Who else? Bill Tarney, met him. He wasn't very nice to me at one point, but yeah, I met him. I used to work at the Broad Oak in Ashton. He used to go boozing in there. I used to sing on a Wednesday night. Who else? Can't think if I know anyone else. Sammy's. I knew it began with an S, Sarah. Sammy's. I'm just trying to see how many people are still watching. How long have we been on, everybody? 17 are watching now. Started streaming 19 minutes ago. See what it's saying. I think that's the end of the live tonight, everybody, because the questions have stopped. So I've actually talked a lot tonight. And oh, hang on, there's another question. Womble Chops, hiya. I remember going to Headhunters on Ashton Road, Oldham, to have a perm. I always remember coming out looking like a bloody poodle. That's what I look like. But you'd like actually about giving myself a perm. I used to be an hairdresser, so I can do perms. And I'm thinking of giving myself a spiral. I don't know. Mark Jenkins, talking about celebs, I met Angela Cartwright out of Lost in Space. From the 70s, she was polite and I kissed her on the cheek. Oh, that's lovely, that, Mark. Angela Cartwright. My cousin's called Cartwright. Amy Cartwright. Not Angela. So, random fact there for you. Right, so tomorrow then, everybody, we're gonna go to Sheffield General Cemetery. I also fancy having a bit of a... Oh, I've got a message. I'll have to have a look in a minute. Oh, thanks, Muqtadi. It was a good live, so thanks, lovey. I'm glad. And if I do that video, if I do another video at Westwood, where I'll have to let you know. You'll have to come and say hello. Jesus, Sarah, I can't stop laughing about hairstyles. Sarah, do you remember that one? Who else watching this live used to do that? You'd have a perm, right? And then you'd get the fringe and you'd get it like that, put a load of inset on and then spray it, and then you'd end up with like a fringe that was like a board, and it'd just go over, and then the rest of the perms. And then I think I used to do that as well with I used to put like an head thing on, you know, an headband, and then you'd have this hair that would just come out like a mane. It was shocking, really. Wobble chops. Love your videos, always informative. Thank you. You know, sometimes I think, are they any good, these? You know, like sometimes I don't get a lot of views on some videos, and I think, oh, people finding it like a bit boring and stuff. But you know, I don't know. People either watch it or they don't. I realise that the majority of the people that watch the channel do so because of Oldham. And actually, I was supposed to be going tomorrow, but don't need to now. There was going to be an Oldham video, but that'll wait for a couple of weeks. There's one that I keep meaning to do. But yeah. Thanks for your time. It's great talking live technology is. It is, isn't it, Mark? It's lovely. It's nice to be able to just come on. I mean, it's weird because like, I'm just sat here in my house just talking to my phone, really. But I can see all the messages coming up and it's funny. It looked cool. Might start doing my hair like it. Start a trend. Well, it's not a trend, is it? Because it's... If you do yours, I'll do mine, says. I think we need to have those perms again, you know, in that school photo. I think I've got that, actually. Let's see if I can find this photo, everybody. Hang on, I'll show you photo of me and Sarah. Because I had it blown up. It's not the school one. There was one that we had took when we was wagging school, me and Sarah, in my cousin's flat. But this is us two. So that's Sarah. And that's me. I think I've got missing teeth there at the front. It's obviously at Christmas time, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing with my legs. That dress, I used to love that bleeding dress. But yeah, and then I got that one done as well. Just printed them out. So there is another photograph though where we've got the perms. I'll have to try and dig it out, Sarah. Bonk donk. Talking of phone, this is myself effing laughing. Sarah, remember the baggy jeans? No, what baggy jeans? I remember those jeans in the 80s that used to have a zillion zips all over. Do you remember them? They're like gathered at the ankle, and you'd have loads and loads of zips. Your hair matches your dress, and I love the old pics. Are you talking in the old pic? Or now? Because it's certainly matches it now. It's bottle black instead of dye it, because I'm grey now. You look cute. What year was it? God, I don't know. Sarah, Sarah's older than me. I reckon I was probably about 6 or 7, 7 or 8, 7. So 82, 82. Born in 1975, so probably 82, 83, 81. I don't know. Bumble Chops. It's amazing how much we don't really know about the areas we live. It's true that, you know, it's like when I started out with the channel, like properly doing the channel, and I started going to the graveyards and, you know, and learning how to like pull videos together and talk about stuff, and I'm obviously still learning now. But in the very early days, everything that I was looking at around Oldham was like a brand new discovery. Like every day was a brand new discovery. I was obsessed, and over the years, over those 2 years during lockdown, and a lot of the time that I was furloughed, and then after, if you go back and look at the videos, you'll see like so many facts that I sort of found out from research that I've done, documented research from. I'm not going to tell you how I research stuff because that takes the thing away, you could probably guess, but there's many different ways that I research, and you know, I didn't have access in the early days. I really didn't have access to any of that stuff. I really had to do like grassroots stuff. But just some of the facts that I found out about, you know, a specific grave in Channington Cemetery, that person, for instance, I can think about it, I can't remember his name off the top of my head now. His father was a pork butcher. He was an architect. I can see a picture of him. He's got glasses on. He's got one of them twiddly moustaches. He's got dark hair. And he built so many buildings in Oldham. There was the architects, I can't remember the name. I don't know what's something. I don't know if I'm losing my mind. I'm probably just tired. There was an architect who worked out of York House on Yorkshire Street in Oldham. They designed the War Memorial in Oldham. They designed the Grand Theatre. They built Wearmouth Fire Station. They built Channington Town Hall, Oldham Town Hall Extension. What else did they do? They did loads. Oh no, that wasn't them. Thomas Mitchell, who built the Oldham Library, he also built the Mason's Hall across, you know, the Mason Hall across the road. He built that as well, or he was the architect of that. Tell you what, that's the thing. I can't wait, everybody, until Oldham Library, the old Oldham Library opens, because it's going to be, Sarah, it's going to be, me and Sarah, when we were kids, we used to go in Oldham. What was it called? That Sarah, the historic building. They use it for the what's it called? This is why I'm tired. I'm getting tired, everyone. The local interest centre in Oldham. That's what I'm trying to say. That is going to be going into Oldham Library. Oldham Library is supposed to be having all of like the old stuff from years ago. Maybe the Devil's Fireplace will go back in there. At the moment, it's in the new library. Devil's Fireplace is there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go and have a look, or look back on my videos. I've done a video on it. But yeah, what I'm hoping, and as soon as that Oldham Library opens, let me tell you, I'm going to be there with my camera, and I'll go back and back and back and back and back. I'll go loads, but the initial visit, I'm really hoping that they're going to have, like, you know, all the leases lined up, all of that art, all the old documents, you know, all these people that I've talked about over, like, you know, the last 3 or 4 years. I really want to see all of their histories, like, there in one place. And let me tell you, if I can see that when I go up, I'm going to be absolutely delighted. That would be my favourite video of all time, to walk into Oldham Library, the old Oldham Library, to know its history anyway, and how it was manufactured. I know all about that. I did a video on it called Scandal of Oldham Library. If you've not seen it, you need to go and watch it, because we talk about Thomas Mitchell, all the scandal around him, what he did with the Oldham Moor, all of that. There was loads and loads of stuff that went on with the build of Oldham Library. Just to go in there and see like all of that history just there in front of me is just going to be fantastic. I'll tell you what was really good. Remember the video that I did on Oldham Silver a few weeks back, months even? While I was there, I was allowed to go into the council chamber. Not touch anything, not sit anywhere, I wasn't left on my own. It was a supervised have a look. And you know, I didn't touch anything. I was very respectful, but let me tell you, I walked in, I looked up on the walls, and there was Samuel Radcliffe, there was Joshua Walmsley Radcliffe on the walls, there was another man who I didn't know. That was the thing, I couldn't see who it was, and I didn't want to, the person that let me in, I didn't want to take the mick and start walking off. If I had, I probably would have been able to see who they were, but there was another man at the other end that I didn't know. And that's the other thing as well, I want to see all of the people that I talk about, but the people that I don't know as well. Right, I feel like I'm talking shite now, everybody. So I am going to go shortly. They were elasticated at the bottom. Jed had loads, and we said these will be fashionable. Did he have loads? Did we start wearing them then? Is that when they were fashionable? We did have them on. That was when I lived on Shaw Road, that. When I first started, the Swamp Dog, when I first started researching the past, the great Oldham it once was, it blew my mind. The video that I've got coming up, I've managed to get some more information on a specific period of time in Oldham's past, a very poignant period of time. And I've got links to other countries. I've got a fascinating link that's linked to America, and I'm not talking about anything that you think you might know. You will not know this fact, or if you do know this fact, I would be very, very impressed. When I tell you what it is, you'll be like, frig off, Sarah, nowhere. That didn't happen, and I'm telling you it did. I just need to go and do the video, everybody, and then you can find out about it. What we're going? Mark Jenkins, what's your best moment in life? Mine was touching the capsule that landed on the moon. Wow, that is impressive. Best moment in life. Best moment in life. I don't know. Maybe it hasn't happened yet. Must be something that. See, I haven't done anything like fantastic like that, you know, like seen anything wonderful like that. You know, I'll probably come off this live and I'll go, oh my God, why didn't I mention that? But as I sit here, I can't think of anything. Kelly, is that a new armchair? Yes, it is, Kelly, but as you can see, it's fine. So, what's happening is, I'm going to be colouring this in pink. I've got some dye coming next week, and then the back chairs, I'm going to be making cushion covers, which are going to be made out of this material. So to give you an idea, it will be like that, and then these sides will be pink, and then these covers that are down here, I'm going to make some more. I actually think I'm actually probably going to do that. I'll start doing the cushions tomorrow, and I'll be doing a video for that because I've got my new sewing machine now, which I showed earlier on in the live. So I'll list that as soon as I've done it. One blood shops. Are you thinking about doing any more on Royton? No, not presently. Not. There's nothing that I could tell you that I haven't already told you at the moment. That said, maybe I could do something on Royton Hall. And actually, it would be interesting to find out where their bodies are. You know, the people that used to live in the hall. That would be a good one, I think, to try and find out where they were. The problem with some of these, people that I look for, sometimes you can't find the graves, and it's because in some instances they don't exist anymore. So I've gone on about this so many times before, but like Oldham St Peter's Church, the amount of people that were buried in there, that there were thousands. I've got all the records, by the way. That would be another video as well, to look at all the people that were buried in St Peter's. And I always think, you know, like if I'm looking for a specific grave for someone and I can't find it in Oldham, I mean, it could be in a churchyard somewhere, you know, out the way. There's many people like that. But I also always think, you know, those people that were in St Peter's, that the graves have gone now, you know, like they're gone, they're forgotten, aren't they? I mean, they really are forgotten. Apart from a list of names that I've actually got, I've saved it to my computer. I've actually saved it onto me the drive where I put all of my YouTube videos. My friend Wayne has said to me, for my Oldham YouTube videos, for the histories that I found, he said I should save a hard drive, and then when I filled it up, give it to Oldham Library. So I've been saving all my videos. Now, he told me to do it. He just said you should do it because there's stuff on there, and the fact is, you know, like what I'm digging up now, maybe no one will ever be interested, but they might be in a few hundred years. You know, they might be interested in looking back on all, you know, on all the videos and the buildings that have gone hundreds of years before. So I'm gonna give them this. I'm gonna give them this drive with all these videos on, and they can do what they want with it. If it ever sees light of day again, brilliant. Because YouTube's not going to be around forever, or maybe it will. I don't know. But that's one of the things I'm doing. And on that drive for safekeeping, I've also got this list of names of St Peter's. And one of the videos that I do want to do is I want to start researching those people, and I want to start bringing them back, showing where they lived, what they did. I've not got a grave, but we can do other things. Well done, mine's not happened yet. What hasn't? Oh, I don't know what you mean, Wonk Donk. Kelly. Oh, I know who Kelly is. Kelly, you've got that surname that I tried to pronounce, haven't you? I like the vintage style. Look forward to seeing what you do. Thanks, Kelly. And that stain that I've got coming, I've put it on my grey couch over there, and it's a nice pink. If you go back in live later and have a look, you'll see it. I don't know what colour it's going to turn out on here. I'm hoping it's going to be a nice colour and not a gaudy colour. But if it turns out to be foul here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to recover it in more material. Mac House, are you doing anything about the workhouse in Oldham? So I've featured the workhouse in Oldham. I've got shorts on, by the way, so I'm not flashing up my skirt. I've actually got like cycling shorts on underneath, just in case. So there was a video I did about a year ago now, where I actually featured the original workhouse in Oldham, which wasn't the one down at Boundary Park. It was up at Cross Street on the corner. That's where the original workhouse was, and then it was rebuilt down the bottom when it became the Boundary Park one. I've got some information on the types of people that used to go and work at the workhouses. I found out something really interesting. You know the term tramp? Now it's like a derogatory you might already know this, people, by the way, but I thought this was really cool. So a tramp is like if you call someone a tramp, it's like derogatory. But you know, like you look at HGV drivers, they'll have like trampers. And I've utilised that term many times because when I used to recruit for HGV drivers and HGV mechanics, I used to use it. Anyway, the word tramp in olden times actually means someone who travels for work. Did you know that? And I worked it out from some old documents that I got, and then it got me to research it, and they actually listed these people as tramps, occupation, tramp, and these were people who actually worked and lived. Did they live in the workhouse? I'm pretty sure they did. So the answer to your question, yes, I can definitely do a more detailed video on the workhouse. The one that I was going to do, to be honest, was around these tramps, as they called them, not in a derogatory term. You know, that was their profession. So yeah, I'll probably do something around them. I just need to find the graves first. Do you think the Book of the Dead exists, Mark Jenkins? Never thought about it, Mark, but I think the Book of the Dead does exist anyway. I'm sure there is a Book of the Dead. I'm sure it's in a museum somewhere. Let's Google it. Where is? Let's have a look. Where is the Book of the Dead? Where is the Book of the Dead? This display delves into British Museum's spectacular Book of the Dead collection. Religious and magical spells recorded on papyrus, which the ancient Egyptians believed would assist the deceased in achieving a perfect afterlife. So yes, the answer to your question is it does exist because it's at the British Museum. It's unseen, and it's the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead. I knew it, I'd heard of it. Let's have a look. Gone but never forgotten. Yeah, they are forgotten though, aren't they? This is the thing. It's a shame. Right, I've got to look forward. I've got to go. Look forward to next vid. Have a good weekend, guys and girls. Thanks for watching One Donk, and it's been lovely to chat with you. We'll probably do another live again soon if you want to jump on. Thank you very much. Is it the book? Yeah, One Bull Chops, Muck the Deer. And Sarah, what is your favourite sport? I don't have one. I'm not really a sport fan. Muck the Deer. Although it's funny because I was at my mum's this morning, and it was quite interesting. I like marathons. I like watching marathons. No, tennis. I like tennis. I like boxing. No, I do like sport then, don't I? I like boxing. If it's a big fight. But I used to like watching boxing when Prince Nazim Ahmed used to fight because I thought he was amazing. And he was around in the 90s. He was a good fighter. We saw him now though, he's completely different now, isn't he? But you know, he was a kid back then. But like, I really liked him. I really like him now. You know, he's a cool guy. But he just like how he used to come into the ring and stuff. And at one point, he came in on a flying carpet, didn't he? He was brilliant. So yeah, I like sports. I like watching Prince Nassim Ahmed fight because I think he's brilliant. And I think that's it for sports for me. All right, Matt. Good night, love. One Bull Chops. I like sport that I don't have to do. Right, everyone. It's 9:20. I'm going to go because my bedtime is looming. And honestly, God, I think I've just talked absolute gibberish for the last half an hour because I'm actually getting quite delirious now. So I am going to call it quits. So he was wearing Nassim. Do you remember him? I'm going to have a look at him now on YouTube. Good night, Mark. Yeah, I'm going to go, everyone. Can you see my face? I'm exhausted. So thank you very much for watching. I'm going to go upstairs now. I'm going to get myself a bath, get myself in bed, watch my videos on YouTube. Not mine, the people that that I watch. And then, everyone's saying good night. Good night, everybody. And then I'll see you all tomorrow night. Once I've done the Sheffield General Cemetery video, I'll be getting up tomorrow. It might be up. No, it should be up at a reasonable time. But just keep your eye out for it. I won't put it up any later than 9 o'clock. And let me know what you think. So, thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you soon. I'm gonna have to get up and stop this bleeding camera. So, oh God, how do I stop it? Oh, I can't stop it. What the hell? Oh no, I can't turn it off. What the hell? All right, there we go. Done it. Right, see you, everyone.